What is up, everybody? My name is Joey, and I am a former student and graduate of Easy CDL. I've now been driving for 2 months and 9 days, because that's just kind of the way I am. And I am driving for a long-haul OTR company out of Sacramento, and I make about $156,000 to $160,000 a year with my bonuses and miles. So I'm pretty happy about that. And I said in my last video I'd go ahead and help you guys out and letting you know how I went through the steps of choosing the right school. So hopefully this will help you in choosing the right trucking school to get your commercial driver's license. So for me personally, in choosing a school, I did a lot of research. And so I highly recommend doing a lot of research. Learning to drive a truck isn't easy. It isn't simple, and it isn't something you should take lightly. If you've spent any time on the random clicking world of YouTube, you've probably run across more than your fair share of trucking accident videos. Probably seen a couple of names come up repeatedly, and there's a reason for that. So, I want to help you avoid that. Because if you're not out there and you're not on the road and you're not dangerous, I don't have to white knuckle every time you drive by me or I drive by you, hoping that you don't suddenly realize that you need to be taking the next exit, and so you jump over without a blinker when you're only a third of the way past me, forcing me to slam on my brakes and putting myself and all the people behind me at risk because of your poor life choices. So if you've been driving for a while, then you don't need this video. It's all good. Hopefully in the video you'll find it useful. Give me a thumbs up. Any questions or comments, go ahead and leave those below, and hit the subscribe and notification icon. You'll know every time we upload them. So I am right now central Wyoming. So when I see it, I'll tell you guys what mile marker I'm at. I'm eastbound. I'm heading to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I'm pretty happy. It's a beautiful day out. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. And it's honestly some of the best weather I've seen out here. I'm at mile marker 183 eastbound. So if anybody wants to know exactly where I am, there you go. So choosing a school, and I'll give you my experience really quick. I called everybody I could get my hands on, right? I called Pride, I called Prime, I called CR England, I called CRST, and I called Swift, and I called a bunch of smaller ones that I saw on there, and I found a common thread in some of these that I need to make a definition. When I say choosing a school, you should choose a school. Don't choose a mill. There are trucking mills out there, and the difference between a school and a lot of the mills, because some of them are going to whine and say, no, we have a school and it's separate from the company. Yeah, okay. Nobody would pay them what they're charging for that, right? So, but if you have a company that is, you come out, we'll teach you how to drive, you'll drive for us, and then after a certain amount of time, we'll have given you your schooling for free. That is in general a mill. That is not a school. School is come out, we'll teach you how to drive, we'll give you the tools, we'll give you the knowledge, we'll give you the know-how, we'll help you, take your tests, figure out which way you want to go, help you take your driving test, help you get your license, and then we have a list of companies that come to us that are looking for drivers. Here you go. Have a great life. Mills generally hook you in with a higher cost, and when I say higher cost, I'm not kidding, meaning that you'll spend $7,000 to $10,000 for a week in their school, which makes them more expensive than the most expensive medical school anywhere in the world. Nobody's medical school is $520,000 for a year. Nobody would get their medical license, right? But that's what you're looking at. $10,000 for a week, 52 weeks. Yeah, it's pretty dang expensive. So in mind, and then they tell you, well, you're going to drive for us for a certain amount of months, and it's generally around 10 months, right? Some of them are longer, some of them are less. But they say you're going to drive for us for 10 months, and once you've driven for us for 10 months, we'll have paid for your school. No. Once you've driven for them, in all honesty, for 2 months, you paid for your school. Because on average, they're paying in the 20s or low 30s per mile for you to drive. You're driving on a team, and they're making the money while you are paying off your school, and you're living impoverished. Like you realize at the end of the day, after your taxes, after your benefits, after you pay for the basic things that you need to pay for, that you could have made more money flipping burgers, and you'd have had food, right? So pay attention to that. You know, and what if you leave? Oh, if you leave, then you leave it, you need to work for us for 10 months. You leave month 9, you still owe us $7,000. Okay? That's a mill. Mills aren't there for you, mills are there for numbers. I can't think of anybody that a mill is good for. Look, you know what? I'll take that back. If you have nobody in your life that can help you out financially, if you have nothing that you can sell to be able to pay for a school, if you're basically on the cusp of homelessness, have no idea what you want to do with your life, and it literally doesn't matter, you're making nothing now, and you're living in your mom's basement at 30 years old, and your parents have been trying to kick you out, and now that your claim to fame is that your parents took you to court to evict you, go to a mill. Go. But if you have any hope or semblance to not lose a year of your life working for somebody making no money, and one of the most discouraging and honestly, one of the more dangerous environments that you're going to get into, one bad truck wreck, that's all she wrote, right? You don't know what to do when your tire gets flat or your axle pops. Things happen. This is a dangerous job. I have yet to find a trip that I go out where I don't see an accident, and a trip not too long ago where people lost their lives, and that's sad. No matter all the jokes and everything else, we only joke once we know that people are okay. So if you have no other choice but to go to a mill and put in a year so that you can go out and get a real job, okay, but exhaust your other avenues first. Garage sale everything you own, get to a school. Now when you're choosing a school, how do you choose the right school? Okay? Well, you go to their website? No, forget their website. Okay? Great that you found their website. You can read up some information on their website. Okay? Awesome. They'll tell you the different programs. They may tell you the pricing. They may tell you where they are, how long it's going to be, what you can expect, and give you an idea of the criteria. Good for a website. But you know where you want to go? You want to go to Yelp. You want to go to the Better Business Bureau. You want to check them out. You want to find out what other people say about them. No company is going to say, we're an okay school, but our trucks are old, they don't work very well, and you're not going to like the instructors. Nobody says that. Yelp does. Google's reviews do. Those are the things that you want to look at and look up. The Better Business Bureau, look if they've got problems. I was going to go with one school myself personally, and I wasn't going to go to Easy CDL. And I told Ali, the owner of the school, that. Like, I almost didn't go to you because I hate your name. Easy CDL rental or Easy Truck Rental for CDL. It's like, ugh. What a horrible, stinking name, right? I hated it. And I almost didn't go. I almost went to one. I was like, at least that one's a school in it. Sounds better. And then, I was literally 2 days from giving them their money. And I was looking at their Yelps, and they had some negative Yelp reviews, and that happens, everybody, right? Because Yelp reviews are generally a one-sided battle, and it's, if somebody's a jerk and they didn't get white hand glove customer service, I've literally seen them give 1 star. I gave 1 star because I had to wait 5 minutes before the waitress came back and filled my iced tea. The food was great. Everything else was great. But my iced tea, okay. So, but it wasn't the Yelp reviews that stopped me from going to the school. They put flags up, but what ended up happening was it was the responses they were giving back. They got a negative response to somebody who their concern was legitimate, but I could also see where it could be their fault because they kind of dropped off the map for a little while. And then they said, hey, you know what? I came back and they were extremely rude. And you know what? I got tired of this because this is their business practice, this is the way they do it. And then their response back was literally the school's response back was calling this guy's wife a whore. That was it. Done. So I went to Easy CDL and I, like I said, didn't want to go. I went and I sat down and I talked to Ollie, and then I talked to instructors, talked to Larry, I talked to other students. And everybody had kind of a positive attitude. They're like, yeah, no, hey, nobody's perfect. We're going to get this. I'm like, well, I've never stepped foot in a truck before. Like, me either. Or, you know what? Hey, no worries. We got this. You got this. And so I was like, okay. So at the end of the day, I gave them my money. And you know what? His Yelp reviews were insane. They were great. Honestly, I honestly thought that was going to be family and friends doing Yelp reviews, right? So do your research. If you're in Sacramento, yeah, go to Easy CDL. If you're around Sacramento or know somebody in Sacramento and you're thinking about doing it, same thing. But anywhere you are, if you're in Chicago, do your research. Check all the schools. Yelp to find the schools. Then look them up on the Better Business Bureau. Ask them, how much are your programs? Go to their website to see what they have listed as their criteria. Come down there, tour, talk to the other people there. Okay? Find out what their graduation rate is. What's your attrition rate? What if I fail? What happens if I fail? What if I go through all this and I take this? Do you guys charge me to retest? How much do you charge me to retest? How often do they actually charge people to retest? Right? Find out all this information. You can go to a school. There's one school I went to that I talked to. They're like, oh yeah, no, we charge $1,600. Oh, okay, cool. And then they want to charge for the truck rental for me to go take my test. Okay, how much is that? $450? Does that give me the truck for the whole day? No, just for your test. Okay. What if I fail? Oh, that's another $600. Like, and how long do I have? 2 weeks. No. Try to find a school that's going to give you as much education as you need. If you think you need unlimited because you don't know the difference between a pitman arm and a drag link, then you find that school that's going to give you the time that you need. Find one that's in your budget. Find one that's not going to charge you an arm and a leg to retest, charge you a whole bunch of hidden fees. Find out all of them up front and choose your school by doing your research. If you have to go to a mill, I'm sorry. If you're out on 80, you come up to me and you say, I loved my mill. Okay. But I bet that's not going to happen. Whether or not anybody sees this video, I don't see that happening. I don't see anybody coming up to me and saying, man, I'm sure loving this 25 cents an hour or 25 cents a mile I'm making. It's not going to happen. So, anyway, hope that helps out, guys. Again, thumbs up. I don't care. Thumbs down if you don't like it. Whatever. Would appreciate it. Give a subscribe. Turn on the notification icon. Little bell thing. Just click it. And you'll get little notifications when pop-up videos, which you do try to do on a regular basis. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Peace out with your peace out. And remember, that which does not kill you isn't done yet. Later.